Welcome to YouTube for Newbies. The other day I was watching a video on how to be a YouTuber, how to get better content, more subscribers, etc. And in the video, the creator did something and I didn't know how he did it. So I thought I'd ask. So I went to his site. He's somebody I've subscribed to. And he's got a couple 100,000 subscribers. And I looked at the comment section where I was going to post my question, and there were all these comments. And I know this guy posts several videos a week, and I realized there's no way it's humanly possible for him to go through all his comments. And I said, wouldn't it be nice to find a video with some useful information in it, produced by somebody like me, a couple dozen subscribers. I mean, I'm lucky if I get one comment a day. I mean, I'm at the point where I can answer personally every comment on any of my posts because I don't get that many. Wouldn't it be nice if there was somebody like that, like me, to whom I could go and ask a question? And then it hit me. There are loads of people out there. There are probably more people out there like me than there are like this guy with the hundreds of thousands of subscribers. But we don't connect with one another. We're not offering tips. We're not offering how-to advice. They are. Now, the advice they offer is very good. Everything I've learned about YouTube, I've learned from watching their videos. But still, why not? Wouldn't it be nice to have a place where people like me could go and we could share what we've learned and help each other as we try to tackle this medium? And that's what I thought I'd do. I would create, at this point, it's just a playlist, but maybe ultimately a channel for people like me, YouTube for Newbies. At first, I was going to call it, YouTube for Dummies or something like that. YouTube for Idiots, like those books that they sell for, Windows for Idiots, Windows for Dummies. But then I realized we're not idiots. We're not dummies. We're just beginners. We're just learning our way through this. Most of us the hard way, step by step, trial and error. We're all struggling. Again, we're not idiots. We're not dummies. We're just new. We're newbies. And again, the idea I'm having is, why can't we help each other? Not just get subscribers and get views, but help each other with actual advice. How did you do that? How do you do this? Do you know how to do that? That's what I'm looking for in this adventure. Basically, I see it and hope it'll become a dialogue between you and me as we share information, beginners sharing information, and share our own techniques, what we've learned, and what we haven't learned, with the hope that somebody else can help us along the way. Now, I know we're all providing different kinds of content, and that's fine. I mean, I do stuff that's political and historical. Others are doing food, maybe travel, home repair, my favorite pug videos, parrots, gerbils, guinea pigs, you name it. I've seen it on YouTube. Some of it's pretty good. And we're all doing these different things. But the one thing that unites all of this is, whatever kind of content we're producing, we have to deal with hardware issues, our computers. We have to deal with software issues on our computers. How are you recording your video? How are you editing it? And then we have to deal with the other hardware issues, cameras, microphones, lights, control boards. Are we going to green screen? All these things are very complex. And all these things complicate what you're trying to do. And they also unite us no matter what we're doing. You may be doing guinea pigs, I may be doing politics, but we're all struggling with editing software. We're all struggling with lighting. We're all struggling with all the other things you have to struggle with to produce a decent YouTube piece of content. Now, to get the proverbial ball rolling, what I thought I'd do is offer two pieces of advice and one special bonus tip. And the bonus tip is something that I haven't seen anywhere else. I'm not saying it's not out there. YouTube's a big place, but I haven't seen it yet. And I'll offer that. I think it's an important one, so stick with me on this. Early on in YouTube, you start developing situational awareness, and it suddenly hits you. This is a lot more complex than you thought it was going to be. I sit in front of a camera and I shoot a video. It's not that simple. You realize all the intricacies of dealing with the hardware and the software. And you also learn more about YouTubers. And you realize just how many subscribers some of these people have. I mean, there's one guy with Marcus Brownlee. I think he's been doing it for 13 years. He's got over 10 million subscribers. He'll get hundreds of thousands of views in minutes after he posts the video. And that's really daunting. I mean, 13 years. I'm 68. I'm not going to live long enough to do what he's done. And he's done it very well. And that can make you sometimes think like, why am I even bothering? But I think, to use a sports analogy, when I picked up a basketball in second grade, and I'll date myself here, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to go out and become Wilt Chamberlain or Jerry West or Elgin Baylor. But, I wasn't going to give up. I could still play. I could still have fun. And I did, as best I could, playing basketball. I mean, not everybody in the NBA ends up as Michael Jordan or LeBron James. And it's the same with YouTube. As a basketball coach once told me when I tried to do something that I was trying to mimic Dr. J, I was trying to do a finger roll. It didn't work. And he said, Michael, you need to learn to play within yourself. You're not Dr. J. And I wasn't. And I think that's what you need to do in YouTube is learn to play within yourself. You're not Lucas Tech Tips. You're not Mr. Who's the Boss. You're not some guy who's probably going to get 10 million subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views. But that doesn't mean you can't satisfy your own desire to provide content and share content with people. I mean, it can be fun. And why not just do it? Just because you're not going to become the leading shooter, the leading scorer in the NBA doesn't mean you're not going to play basketball. And I think you have to approach YouTube like that. Okay, you're not going to get 10 million subscribers, but you can get more subscribers by next year than you have this year. You can make better videos a month from now than you are today. And I think that's how you have to approach it. And that leads me to my second tip. There's so much going on. There's so many things to do. You can't do them all at once. One time I watched a video, it was 7 things for beginners on YouTube to do in editing, just in Premiere Pro, which is my editing program that I use. And I took a video, I tried to edit it, and I tried to do all 7 things. It was a total disaster. I eventually just dumped the whole thing, deleted everything, started over again, and I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to do one of those 7 tips. I'm just going to do one in this video. And basically, that's what I've been doing all along, is I try, every time I make a video, I try to do one new thing. One new thing with my lighting, one new thing with the camera, one new thing, editing trick, one new transition, one different thing. Can I handle proxies? How do they work? Let me try that in this video. And that's what I try to do, just one thing at a time. And if you keep producing videos, I'm over 100 videos now I've produced. And if you try to learn to do one thing, one new thing, each video you create, then at the end of 100 videos, you've learned to do 100 things. And if you continue to do that, you do 200 videos, you've learned 200 things. And gradually you're going to get better and better and know more and more and more. Again, it doesn't mean you're going to become Michael Jordan, but it means you'll be better. And that's my goal, is purely to be better a year from now than I am today. This is my second year. I started shooting the first videos a year ago just using the YouTube software. No editing, nothing, just straight uploads. They're pretty bad. I mean, they're still posted if you want to go watch them. Some of them are pretty bad. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Whatever you think about the content, the production quality sucks. But, a year later, I'm doing much better videos. And I hope a year from now, they'll be even better. And that's simply my goal. Better one step at a time. This leads me to my bonus tip. And I say that with real sincerity here, because I think it is a bonus. I have not seen this anywhere. I've watched hundreds of videos about how to produce YouTube content, and I haven't seen anyone recommend this. Now, I'm not saying nobody has. There's loads of YouTubes I haven't seen. I don't think any human being on the planet has seen every YouTube video there is. But here's my tip. The other day I was watching a video, and I watched it all the way through, and it was about building up your subscriber base. This tip has nothing to do with subscribers, though. And when I got done, I realized A, I liked it, and B, I had watched it all the way through, which isn't always the case. I mean, I actually saw the end screens come up, which usually I never see. I don't stay around that long. And I thought, why? And I know everybody always says audio is all important, and it is. You know, audio is 50, 60, 70%, 75%, whatever it is, depending on who you listen to. I mean, unless you're shooting pug videos, and then nobody cares what you're saying, they're watching the pugs. But for most people that are talking in their videos, audio is the important part. That's what people are listening to. But what I did was I turned off the audio and I just watched the video because I didn't want to be distracted by what he was saying because it had nothing to do with the question I had. Why had I watched that video all the way through? And I started paying attention to, for example, it was about a 12-minute video. How many cuts did he have in the video? And he had a lot. What kind of transitions did he use? Sometimes he didn't seem to use any. Could I recognize what they were? Would I know how to make that transition? Is that a Premiere Pro transition or something I'm not familiar with? How many of those little things pop up that say share, subscribe, like came up? How were they spaced? Were they spaced regularly? Every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes? Did they jump around? How many of them were there in 12 minutes? And that's what I was just looking for. With the sound off, just paying attention to what he had did. I noticed he constantly moved inside the frame. Every time there was a shot, he'd be in a different spot. He'd be on the left, and maybe there would be a graphic that would pop up, or he'd be on the right, and a graphic would pop up over here. And I thought, yeah, if you plan that out when you're shooting and you know you're going to put a graphic in, you know, if I'm shooting about the Constitution of the United States, I'm going to show a picture of James Madison, and I'm right in the middle of a screen, I've put Madison up in, you know, one of the corners or down one of the corners, little tiny box. If I know I'm going to put him there, why not shoot it all the way over on the edge of the screen, which leaves me the rest of the screen to put a bigger picture of James Madison up? I never thought of that. I probably should have, but that's because I'm a newbie. So those are the things I was watching as every shot as he cut, he moved left, right, zoom in, zoom out, up, down in the screen. And it was constantly changing. So every time he would cut, he would keep your attention because it was always moving somewhere. There was motion in the screen. A lot of my videos, you know, I'm sitting there right in the middle of the screen talking for 12, 15, 20 minutes. Boring. So I've got to learn how to do that. I thought, yeah, that's a big tip. But it wasn't the tip in his video that he's telling me about. It's the tip I'm getting by not listening to his video, turning the audio off and watching what he's doing on the screen and trying to, you know, digest what he's doing and figure out how he did it and why can't I do some of those things? What am I going to do in my next video? Well, that's the first video of what maybe will be a series, YouTube for Newbies. If there's sufficient interest, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you want to subscribe to this channel to keep track of it, please do so. If you do, please leave a comment and let me know your identity so I can follow you back and subscribe to your channel. I'd like to see what kind of videos you're producing. And they don't have to be like mine. I don't really care. I watch all kinds of different videos. And I guess beyond my own kind of videos, my favorite are pug videos. I just can't get enough of pug videos. If any of you post pug videos, that would be great. But in any case, let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to turn this into something more of a dialogue, into sort of a collective effort where we share each other's, not just subscriptions and viewing, but I mean comments and techniques and lessons learned. Because I'm sure, I know I'm not the only one out there sitting in my position. And as I said before, I know there are more of us than the people with the 10 million subscriptions. So what I would like us to do is to work together to help each other improve so that a year from now, we're all posting better content. It's that simple.